Something people learn really late in their lives is that direction is more important than speed. And the simple reason is that when you're young, you have like so much energy, and most of the times you just want to like get to where you're going like really fast, even though sometimes you might be heading in no particular direction. And it's only like after you have like more experience and when you start slowing down and the energy starts reducing that people start to notice that they need to focus and lock in on something, and because they won't have as much energy to do so many things. Yeah, so I guess it's true what they say, that for everything you have, you lose something, and for everything that you lose, you gain something else. And a particularly interesting story, which always resonates with me whenever I'm coming to like goal setting and things like that, is the story of Socrates. So there's a story that at one time a man approached Socrates without knowing who Socrates was, of course, and he asked him for directions to Mount Olympus. So if you're someone who knows like Greek mythology, then you know that Mount Olympus is the mountain where the Greek gods were believed to stay. And Socrates, in typical Socrates fashion, pointed in a direction and said, if you want to get to Olympus, make sure all your steps are in that direction. And that's a very vague answer, strange answer, but of course it's Socrates, so it's like philosophical. And of course the man must have been like puzzled, because if it's someone like, if you're to answer someone like that now, if someone is to ask you for directions and you give them that, they'll take offense, maybe you're rude or you're not helpful. But there's actually a deeper meaning in that. So Socrates was merely showing that if you know the direction, it doesn't matter how slow or how fast you go, as long as all your steps are heading towards where you're going. So as long as you know the objective or the goal or the aim, then all your steps should be directed towards there, then eventually you'll get there. And this is very helpful when it comes to achieving goals and goal setting. Yeah, so this year I set my goals like really late. Most of the times I'm someone who's like on the 31st of the year of December, like I'll be already locked in, but for some reason, lots of things happening in my life. This year I only set my goals around April, and not like early April. That was like mid to late April. And the important thing about goal setting is it clarifies your mind. Like it takes you out of whatever ambiguity or vagueness which is there in your life, and it just adds some order to it. So it's a very helpful thing. Like if you're someone who doesn't have goals, and the statistics are actually crazy. I think most people don't set goals. And of those that do, most of them don't write them down. And I actually read that there's a 42% chance of your goal being more likely to happen when you write down your goal than when you don't. So just writing down your goal, putting it pen to paper, or putting it in the digital age, put it maybe in one of your notes where you can see it, crystallizes or solidifies the goal and makes it more vivid to your mind, and you'll be more likely to achieve that as a result. Yeah, so if you're someone who didn't know that, then yeah, just get a pen or paper right now, or take out your iPad or whatever it is, and just set your goals, because that, just doing that will increase the chance of you achieving your goal by almost half. Yeah, getting back to goal setting. Yeah, so once you have like goals, you've written them down, then at least you know your direction. So it doesn't matter how fast or slow you get there, as long as all your steps and all your actions, everything you do in your day should be headed towards achieving that goal. Yeah, and one particularly useful tip which I use when I'm setting goals is the SMART method. Yeah, so SMART, it's S-M-A-R-T, and the SMART simply stands for specific goals. So the S is specific, the M is measurable, the A is achievable, the R is relevant, and the T is time specific. Yeah, they should have a deadline. Yeah, so specific. So make sure your goal is like not vague. Like it shouldn't be something like, if it's a monetary goal, a financial goal, for instance, it shouldn't be, I want a lot of money. Like, what's a lot of money? Because it could range from anywhere to $0 to like billions of dollars. So very vague is not, it doesn't help you. So lock in. So you can say, I want to make maybe $1,000 per month or $3,000 a month, something like that. That would definitely come and be more useful than setting a goal like, I want to make a lot of money. Yeah, so that's the first part, the S. And then moving on to the M part, the goal should be measurable. So it should be something which you can quantify. Like it shouldn't just be a vague goal or something which you can't really measure. So find a way of measuring it. And yeah, so like in the sense of money, you can measure, like, I want to be have this much money, $1,000 for instance. Yeah, and then when it comes to like things like maybe health, say you want to maybe lose a bit of weight, you just don't just say, I want to lose weight. Say, I want to lose so and so pounds or so and so kilos, depending on which part of the world you live in. Yeah, and the next part of that abbreviation is the A, which is the goal should be achievable. So achievable goals, yeah, it means that the goal should not be like so astronomical that you cannot achieve it. Yeah, of course, speaking of astronomical, unless you're Elon Musk, yeah, then maybe you can say, I want to colonize Mars or something, but most of us ain't that. So yeah, it should be something which you can achieve. Of course, it should not be too much in your comfort zone that it does not motivate you, but it shouldn't be like way out there that your mind even knows that you're not capable of achieving that, because you won't achieve anything. And yeah, a sweet spot of, okay, and this is for an element or concept called flow, is flow is usually triggered when you set your goals about 4% outside your comfort zone. So 4% above what you think you're capable of. And then your mind at that level is like motivated or spurred into creativity. Yeah, but it has to just be 4% above your current skills or qualifications. Yeah, and the next part is the R. Yeah, so relevant. So the goal should be relevant to you. It should not just be a goal which is set for the sake of setting. So if it's not relevant to you, then you won't be motivated enough. And if it's very relevant to you, then you will definitely put whatever it is, energy into achieving that goal. Yeah, so relevance is very important. So don't just say, if you're someone who's not interested in flowers, I want a flower garden. Like, you'll never leave the house to go make that garden because you don't care about flowers. Yeah, and the last bit of it is the time specific. Yeah, so the goal should not just be like infinite. It should not be you want to make 1,000 when. It should be, I want to make $1,000 this month or each month. At least it should have a specific time, and it should be time specific. Yeah, so give it a deadline. As most people, myself included, I'm very guilty of this, are procrastinators. And for procrastinators, the motivation is a bit harder. So deadlines are a really cool way to spur yourself into achieving things by a certain time. Otherwise, you do one little task and it might go on for the whole year. 5 years, you're still pursuing something you can probably do in a month. Yeah, so make sure it's time specific. And yeah, so the important thing is when you set your main goals, you should make sure that you divide them into like parts of your life. So for example, there'll be like financial goals, spiritual goals, personal goals, and health goals. Yeah, so on the financial, that's anything to do with money and what you want to earn or how much you want to save, things like that. And then on the spiritual, it should be maybe you want to pray more or to meditate more, depending on your beliefs and all those things. And yeah, the personal goals are like goals which are like very personal to you. And yeah, you should aim to achieve those goals. Maybe you want to read more books and things like that. And then there's also career goals. Sometimes you can put them in the financial, but I usually put them in my personal goals. So yeah, if you're someone who feels like career goals are like more in your personal, then yeah, you can put them there. And health goals, yeah, very good, very important, because like health is our greatest wealth. And yeah, you can say, okay, I want to gain so much, I want to lose so much pounds or kilos. I want to jog maybe 10 minutes a day, 20, 30 minutes a day, depending on where you are in your life. And yeah, at least that will get you out there and get you going on your direction. Yeah, and the last tip, which is a very important tip, is to set tiny goals to achieve your overall objective. So if your goal is like huge, maybe it's for this year you want to achieve maybe $200,000 in sales. Yeah, then you need to break it down into specific goals. Like the specific goals are like the plan on how to get there, and that will really help you in following the overall plan. Because sometimes when you know that Mount Olympus is in that direction, but there are roads which go left and then right and then left and right. So you want to navigate those goals. So the tiny little goals are what keep you going, the actual plan, they're the map to get to Mount Olympus. Yeah, and with that said, I hope this video has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.